someone out there. Buddhist stories and teachings for those who lie awake, worrying about the people they love. There is a particular kind of wakefulness that has nothing to do with you. It is not your own life keeping you awake. It is not your own problems, your own fears, your own unfinished business with the day. It is someone else, someone you love, and the fact that they are out there, somewhere, beyond your reach, beyond your knowledge, beyond anything you can do about it from here. Perhaps it is a child, a grown child who has moved far away, or a child still young enough to be at home, but going through something you cannot enter or solve. You lie in the dark and you think about them. What they said the last time you spoke, what they didn't say, whether they are sleeping, whether they are safe, whether the decision they are making is the right decision, whether you should have said something different, done something differently, whether there is something you are missing, something you could still do, something you should do right now. At 2 in the morning, that would help. Perhaps it is a parent, aging in a way you cannot stop, living with something you cannot cure. You know they are in their own bed, in their own house, and you know they are fine for tonight, probably, and yet you cannot find the part of you that is convinced of this, cannot locate the inner assurance that everything is all right, because everything is not entirely all right, and you know it, and the night makes this knowledge larger than it is in the day. Perhaps it is a partner, a friend, a sibling, someone going through something painful that you cannot take from them. Someone making choices you worry about. Someone who is struggling in a way that keeps you awake, even though your being awake does not help them in any way, does not change anything, does not bring them closer or make them safer or resolve whatever it is that is unresolved. This is love at night. This is what love does when it has nowhere to go. Buddhist teachers have a name for this. Not a diagnosis, not a failing, not a problem to be corrected. They call it love. Specifically, they call it love that has become entangled with fear. Love that has stopped being something it gives freely and has become something it holds with both hands tightly, afraid that if it lets go, something will be lost. The teaching is not to love less, not to care less, not to detach in the way that detachment is sometimes mistakenly understood as a kind of coldness, a withdrawal, a decision to stop being affected by the people who matter. The teaching is to love differently, to love in the way that a lantern loves the dark it illuminates, giving its light freely, without needing to control where the light falls or what it reveals, without being diminished by the darkness it cannot reach. Tonight we will sit with 6 stories about this, about mothers and sons and teachers and students and a fisherman's wife and a grandmother who learned late in life what to do with the love that could not sleep, about what it means to love someone you cannot protect, about the thing that is deeper than worry and does not require certainty. Someone out there is loved by you tonight in the dark. That is not nothing. That is, in fact, everything. Come, let us begin. Welcome to everyone who is here. Perhaps you arrived tonight. with someone specific already in your thoughts. Their face, their situation, the particular worry that has been following you through the day and is still here now, in the dark, asking for attention. Perhaps it is one person, perhaps it is several, a quiet list of people you love who are, in one way or another, going through something you cannot fix. Bring them with you. Tonight we carry them together. Before we begin, feel free to share what time it is and where you are listening from. And if you would like, feel free to share who it is you are thinking of. You do not have to, but sometimes it helps, in the dark, to say the name, to let the love be visible, even just here, even just for a moment. There is a teaching in the Buddhist tradition called metta, which is usually translated as loving kindness. It is one of the oldest and most widely practiced teachings in the tradition, present in nearly every school, adapted across centuries and cultures, carried from monastery to monastery and from teacher to student across more generations than anyone can count. And yet, at its heart, it is a very simple thing. Perhaps the simplest thing. It is the practice of wishing someone well, not because they have earned it, not because they have asked for it, not because wishing them well will necessarily change anything about their circumstances. Simply wishing them well. Sending the wish outward toward a specific person or toward all beings with no guarantee of reception and no control over the outcome. This sounds, when described this way, almost too simple to be useful. What does wishing someone well accomplish? When the person we love is in danger, or struggling, or making choices that worry us, what does our wish for their well-being actually do? The teachers who developed this practice were not naive about this question. They did not claim that metta was a mechanism for changing external circumstances, that if you wished hard enough, the illness would recede, the danger would pass, the person would make the right choice. They were ancient, but they were not foolish. They understood that love does not come with guarantees. What they observed, and what practitioners have observed in themselves over many centuries, is something different. The practice of metta does not primarily change the person the love is directed toward. It changes the person who is loving. Specifically, it changes the relationship between love and fear. Most of us, when we love someone, experience our love as inseparable from a fear of losing them, a fear of their suffering, a fear of not being able to protect them. This is understandable. It is perhaps inevitable. We love someone, and because we love them, we want them to be safe and well and undamaged by the world. And because the world does not reliably produce safety and wellness and freedom from damage, we are afraid. The love and the fear travel together, reinforcing each other. The more we love, in a certain sense, the more afraid we become. The metta practice makes a distinction, not a suppression, not an attempt to eliminate the fear by willpower or by convincing yourself that everything is fine when it isn't. A distinction between the love which is real and appropriate and exactly what it is, and the fear which is also real but which has begun to masquerade as love, which has begun to feel like the love itself, indistinguishable from it, so that to release the fear seems like releasing the love. What the practice suggests is that they are separable, that there is a quality of caring for someone that does not require certainty about their safety, that it is possible to love someone fully, completely, with the whole of yourself, and to hold that love in an open hand rather than a closed fist, that the open hand does not love less, it loves differently, and differently, in this case, means more sustainably, more freely, in a way that does not cost you a night's sleep, without providing any protection to the person you are worrying about. 6 stories. 6 different people who loved someone they could not protect, and what they found on the other side of the trying. Let us begin. Let us explore a story about a mother whose son went to work in a distant city, and what an old teacher showed her about the difference between love and fear. Her name was Nuan, and she was 53 years old, and her son's name was Chai, and he had left 6 months ago. He had left because there was work in the city that was not available in the village. Work that paid enough to send money home, which the family needed, which had been the plan, which she had agreed to when the plan was being made, and which she had continued to agree to in the months since his departure, and which she could not quite agree to at 2 in the morning. He was 26. He was healthy. He called when he could, which was not always as often as she would have liked, but often enough to know he was alive and well and managing. He had friends in the city, other young men from the region who had made the same journey. He had a room that was small but adequate. He had work that was hard but not dangerous. None of this was enough information at 2 in the morning. At 2 in the morning, the imagination supplied what information could not. The imagination supplied the things that could happen, the things that did happen in cities, the things she had heard about, and the things she had read about, and the things she invented out of the particular anxiety that attaches itself to a loved person who is out of sight. She lay in the bed she had shared with her husband for 30 years, and she thought about Chai in his small room in the city, and what was happening there, and whether he was all right, and whether the friends were reliable friends, and whether the work was safe, and whether the money was being managed carefully, and whether he was eating properly, and whether the list was very long and never finished. She spoke to a teacher about it, not a formal teacher. There was no monastery near the village, but an elderly woman named Grandmother Ploy, who had lived at the village's edge for as long as anyone could remember, and who was known in the way of such women for saying things that were simple and true. Nuan found her on a morning in the dry season, sitting outside her house, doing nothing in particular, in the way of very old people who have learned that doing nothing in particular is one of the most important things to do. My son is in the city, Nuan said. I can't sleep. Grandmother Ploy looked at her without surprise. How long has he been gone? 6 months. And is he well? When I speak to him, yes. But I can't. She stopped. I can't stop thinking about what might be happening when I'm not speaking to him. All the things that could. Come with me, Grandmother Ploy said. She stood slowly and led Nuan down the path from her house to the river. The river was wide and slow at this time of year, still and brown, reflecting the sky. Grandmother Ploy stopped at the river's edge. She picked up a leaf from the bank, a large flat leaf, the kind that holds water, and she held it out over the river. "What is this leaf?" she asked. "A leaf," Nuan said. "It is your love," Grandmother Ploy said. "Your love for your son." She set the leaf gently on the water's surface. The river accepted it. The leaf floated slowly out toward the center of the current. "Watch it." Nuan watched. The leaf moved out into the river. The current was slow, and the leaf moved with it, not rushed, not in danger, simply moving in the direction the river moved, at the river's pace. It was clearly a leaf on a river. It was clearly fine. "Now," Grandmother Ploy said. She reached into the water and picked up a stone from the riverbed. She held it out. "What is this?" "A stone," Nuan said. "It is your fear," Grandmother Ploy said. "Your fear for your son." She held the stone over the water. "If I put this stone on the leaf, what happens?" "It sinks," Nuan said. "Yes," Grandmother Ploy said. She did not put the stone on the leaf. She held it and looked at it, and then set it down on the bank. They both watched the leaf, which was still moving slowly with the current, undisturbed. "The love," Grandmother Ploy said, "can carry your son. Your fear cannot. Your fear cannot reach him, cannot protect him, cannot change what is happening in that city tonight. But it can sink the love. It can turn the love into something so heavy that it no longer floats." Nuan looked at the leaf far out on the river now, still moving. "But I can't just stop being afraid," she said. "No," Grandmother Ploy said. "But you can put the stone down." She gestured at the stone on the bank. "You pick it up again every night. You carry it to bed with you. You hold it all night." She looked at Nuan with the mild patience of someone who has lived long enough to have seen this many times. "What if tonight you put it down? Not permanently, just for tonight. Put the stone on the bank. Watch the leaf." Nuan stood at the river's edge for a long time. She could see the leaf very far out now, a small pale shape on the dark water, still moving, still on the surface, carrying nothing but itself and the current. She thought about Chai in his small room in the city. She thought about him sleeping or not sleeping, or eating the bowl of something he had learned to cook, or talking to his friends, or sitting quietly after work, doing whatever he did in that room she had never seen. She thought about him as he was, 26, healthy, managing, rather than as he might be in the inventory of possible disasters. She put the stone down, not permanently. She picked it up again before she left the river. But she knew now that she was carrying a stone, and that the stone was separable from the love, and that the leaf could float without it. She went home and slept, not without thought of Chai. The love was there, as it always was, but the stone was on the bank. Let us pause here for a moment. Who is the leaf you are watching tonight? And what stone are you carrying alongside the love? What fear has attached itself to the love and is making it heavy? The love can float. The love can carry itself on the water and move with the current and reach places you cannot reach, but only if you set the stone down. When you are ready, we will continue together. Let us explore a story about an elder monk who watched a student walk towards suffering and what he learned about the limits of love. His name was Master Wen, and he had been teaching for 30 years, which was long enough to have learned most of what teaching can teach, and to have begun learning the things that teaching cannot. The student's name was Young Pao, and he had been at the monastery for 4 years, which was long enough to have developed genuine depth of practice, and not long enough to have developed the patience that practice eventually produces. He was intelligent and earnest and talented, exactly the kind of student a teacher hopes for, exactly the kind of student who is sometimes most at risk, because intelligence and earnestness can carry a person into difficulty as efficiently as they carry a person into insight. Young Pao had decided to leave the monastery, not leave permanently, not leave the path. He wanted to go back to his home village for a year to help his family and then return. This was not an unusual desire. Many students did this. The path did not require complete renunciation of family, and the monastery understood the obligations that young people carried with them. But the circumstances of Young Pao's return worried Master Wen. The family situation was complicated. A dispute with a neighboring family over land that had been going on for 2 generations, that had in the previous year become more acute, and that Young Pao, in his earnestness and his sense of justice, intended to help resolve. Master Wen could see, with the clarity of 30 years of watching people, what would happen. Young Pao would go home full of good intentions. He would involve himself in the dispute. The dispute would prove more intractable than he expected, because disputes that have lasted 2 generations are never about what they appear to be about. He would be drawn deeper. His practice would suffer. He might not come back within a year. Master Wen said this. He said it gently, because he was a gentle man, and he said it precisely, because he was a precise teacher, and he said it once, because he had long ago learned that saying something more than once was not instruction, but pressure, and pressure was not teaching. Young Pao heard him, and Young Pao left anyway. Master Wen stood at the monastery gate and watched him go. A young man with a pack and the confident stride of someone who is certain he is doing the right thing. He watched until Young Pao disappeared around the first bend of the road. Then he went inside and sat with what he was feeling. What he was feeling was something he recognized as the older cousin of worry. Not the fear that something specific would happen, but the deeper helplessness of knowing that a person you care for is walking towards something you can see more clearly than they can, and that there is nothing, now, that you can do about it. He had given the teaching. He had been heard. The choice had been made. He took it to his own teacher, an old woman named Grandmother Shu, who still lived in a cottage at the monastery's edge, and who rarely gave formal teachings anymore, but who was, in Master Wen's experience, the person most worth talking to when the formal teachings ran out. He didn't listen, Master Wen said. Grandmother Shu looked at him. What did you tell him? He told her. She nodded. And was what you told him true? I believe so, he said. Then you did your part, she said. But he's going too. Perhaps, she said. Perhaps not. You have been a teacher for 30 years. How many students have done exactly what you predicted they would do? He thought about this. The honest answer was, some, not all, not even most. He had predicted disaster for students who had found their way through. He had predicted smooth passages for students who had been ambushed by things he had not foreseen. Not all of them, he said. No, Grandmother Shu said, because you are not the author of their story. You are a person who loves them and wants to help them and has given them what you have to give. And then she opened her hands, a gesture he knew, the oldest gesture, and then they go. He sat with this. It doesn't feel like enough, he said. No, she agreed. It never does. Love always wants to do more than it is permitted to do. She looked at him with the patient steadiness of someone who had carried this for a very long time herself. But the love you feel for that student right now, this minute, does he feel it? Master Wen thought about young Pao, on the road, confident, earnest, going home. I don't know, he said. I think he does, Grandmother Shu said simply. Not as a thought, as a fact in the world. The love of a teacher travels with a student. It goes with him. It is in the teaching he has received, in the way he moves through the world, in the things he understands about himself that he did not understand before he came here. She looked at Master Wen quietly. You have already given him the thing that will help him, not the warning about the land dispute. The 4 years. Master Wen sat with this for a long time. Young Pao came back. Not in a year, it was 2 years, nearly 3. The land dispute had been exactly as complicated as Master Wen had foreseen, and exactly as instructive. And young Pao returned with a depth of understanding about human nature and the nature of conflict that the monastery could not have taught him. He was different. He was, in some ways, Master Wen had not predicted, better. Master Wen did not say, I told you. There was nothing to say it about. The story had not gone the way he feared. The story had not gone the way young Pao expected either. It had gone the way it had gone, which no one had predicted. And the outcome was a young man sitting again in the practice hall with something new and irreplaceable behind his eyes. He could not have protected young Pao from the path, and the path had not needed protecting from. Let us pause here for a moment. Is there someone you love who is making a choice you worry about? Who is walking towards something you can see more clearly, or believe you can see more clearly than they can? You have given what you have to give. The 4 years, the conversations, the love that travels with them, whether you can see it or not. The story will go the way it goes, and the love goes with them. It is already there. When you are ready, we will continue together. Let us explore a story about a woman who sent her daughter into the dark with a lantern, and what she understood when she finally stopped trying to carry it for her. A woman had a daughter. The daughter was, by the time this story takes place, grown, no longer a child, no longer in need of the kind of daily care that children require. She had her own life, her own choices, her own path, in the way that grown children have these things, which is to say, separately from the mother, in ways the mother cannot always follow, in a direction the mother cannot always see. The mother loved her daughter completely. The daughter's path led, as paths sometimes do, into a difficult season, not a catastrophe. The daughter was not in danger, not seriously ill, not facing something that required emergency intervention. She was going through something hard, a dissolution, a difficulty, a period of not knowing that is one of the necessary passages of a life. The mother could see it. The mother understood, from her own experience, what this kind of difficulty feels like from the inside, and the mother wanted to help. She went to her daughter and offered her light. She spoke, and she listened, and she said the things she knew from having walked through her own difficult seasons, and she sat with her daughter in the difficulty and tried to illuminate it from the outside. She offered the lantern of her own experience. The daughter accepted the light gratefully. She received what her mother offered and was glad of it. And she continued, as people continue, into the dark that was hers to walk through. The mother went home and lay awake, carrying the lantern, still holding it out toward a daughter who was in another house, asleep, still trying to shine it into the dark that the daughter was walking through, even though the daughter was not currently walking. She was sleeping, she was resting, she was doing the ordinary things of her own life in the difficulty. The mother's lantern lit nothing. The daughter could not see it. The mother was not sleeping. An old neighbor came to visit one morning and found the mother looking as people look when they have not been sleeping. "What is it?" the neighbor asked. The mother explained about the daughter, about the difficulty, about the lantern she was still holding out in the night toward a person who was not there to receive it. The old neighbor listened. Then she said something very simple. "You have your lantern," she said. She has her lantern. They are not the same lantern. The mother looked at her. "Your lantern helped her when she needed your light," the neighbor said. "You gave it freely, and she received it. But you are still holding your lantern out into her dark, trying to light her way from here, and your lantern cannot reach that far." She looked at the mother kindly. "Your daughter has her own lantern. It was lit in part by yours, by everything you gave her all these years. She carries it herself. You can put yours down now." The mother sat with this. She thought about her daughter as a child, the years of small lanterns, the nights she had sat up with a sick child, the mornings she had stood at the school gate watching a small person walk away. She thought about the way, over years, a child's own lantern grows brighter, fueled by what the parent gives and by what the child herself gathers, becoming distinctly, independently hers. She thought about her daughter, not as a child, but as she was now, a grown woman in a difficult season, carrying a lantern that was real and her own. The mother put her lantern down, not extinguished. She would need it herself, just no longer held out, straining into a dark that was not hers to illuminate. She slept. The daughter walked through her difficult season in the following months, slowly, with her own lantern. she found her way through. Not the way the mother would have chosen, not on the timeline the mother would have wished. In her own time, in her own direction, using her own light. There were mornings in that period when the mother woke and thought, I hope she is all right. And the thought was love, and it was good. It was not the straining with the lantern. It was something quieter, a knowledge that the light was out there carried by her daughter, moving through the dark. That knowledge was enough. Let us pause here for a moment. Whose lantern are you still holding out tonight? Whose path are you trying to illuminate from a distance, across a dark you cannot actually reach? They have their own lantern. You helped light it. It burns with everything you have given them and everything they have gathered themselves. It is moving through the dark. You can put yours down now. When you are ready, we will continue together. Let us explore a story about a woman whose husband went to sea, and what a very old woman in the village showed her about the nature of what she was doing in the nights he was gone. Her name was Raya, and she had been married to a fisherman for 22 years, which meant she had been staying awake, worrying about the sea for 22 years, which was both a very long time and, in the fishing village where she lived, not particularly unusual. The wives of fishermen were a particular community. They understood each other in ways that the wives of farmers and merchants did not quite understand them. They understood the specific texture of loving someone who went away regularly into danger and came back, or did not come back, and you could not know on any given night which it was going to be. Most nights he came back. Raya knew this. She knew, in the part of herself that counted, that her husband was experienced and careful and lucky, in the way that experienced, careful people sometimes are lucky. She knew that the odds in 22 years had always resolved themselves in the right direction. She had no specific reason on any given night to believe that this night would be different. And yet, the village had a woman in it who was very old, 90, some said, though she herself had long ago stopped counting. Her name was Old Mara, and she had been the wife of a fisherman herself for 40 years before her husband died, not at sea, but in his bed at 81 of an ordinary old age, which she regarded as the great luck of her life. Raya went to Old Mara on an evening when her husband had been out for 3 days, longer than usual, though not alarming, because the fish had been running far and the good fisherman followed them. How do you do it? Raya asked. How did you do it for 40 years? Old Mara looked at her with the expression of someone who has been asked a question she has been asked before and has had a long time to think about the answer. What is it that you do? Old Mara said. When he is at sea. I worry, Raya said. Yes, Old Mara said. And does the worrying keep his boat upright? No, Raya said. Does it bring good weather? No. Does it make his hands steadier on the nets? Does it give him knowledge of where the fish are? Does it wake him if a storm is coming? No, Raya said. None of those. Then what does it do? Old Mara asked. Not unkindly. With genuine curiosity, the kind of curiosity that is also an invitation. Raya thought about this seriously. She began. she stopped. She thought about 22 years of nights with her husband at sea, about what the worrying actually accomplished in the concrete and practical sense, about whether, on the mornings after the difficult nights, the nights when she had lain awake and worried most intently, he had arrived home safer than on the mornings after the nights when, by accident or exhaustion, she had slept. "It doesn't do anything," she said slowly. "To him." "No," old Mara agreed. "To him it does nothing. He cannot feel it. It does not reach the boat. Then what does it do?" Old Mara looked at her. "It keeps you company," she said simply. "In a way, the worrying is how you stay with him when you cannot be with him. It is a form of connection, a way of saying, 'I am here, I am attending to you, I have not stopped thinking of you.'" She paused. "But it is a very exhausting way to stay connected, and it does not actually reach him." Rhea sat with this. "So what did you do?" she asked. For 40 years, old Mara was quiet for a moment. Outside, the evening was coming in from the sea. The particular quality of light that the sea gives to evenings in a fishing village, the salt and the distance and the shimmer. "I learned to send him something else instead," she said. "Not the worry which does not reach him, something that might." She looked at Raya. "When you love someone who is out of reach, you can send them your fear, which keeps you up and arrives nowhere. Or you can send them your love, which costs you nothing and goes everywhere." Raya went home that night and tried it. She lay in the bed and she thought about her husband. Not about what might be happening to him, not about the weather or the sea or the boat, but about him, his face when he came home, the way he smelled of salt and fish and the particular aliveness of a man who has been doing physical work he is good at, the way he told stories of the sea, not the dangerous parts, which he minimized, but the beautiful parts, the light on the water in the early morning, the schools of fish he had seen, the particular quality of the far horizon. She sent him that. She did not know if it reached him, but the sending felt different from the worrying. The worrying held on. The sending let go. And in the letting go, something released in her. Not the love, which was still there, fully and completely, but the fear that had been traveling alongside it. She slept. He came home 2 days later, salt-stiff and cheerful, with a good catch and a story about a pod of dolphins who had followed the boat for half a morning. She did not tell him about old Mara. She did not tell him about the sending. She simply tea and listened to the story about the dolphins and was glad of the ordinary morning of a man home from the sea. Let us pause here for a moment. Is there someone out there tonight in conditions you cannot see? And are you worrying toward them or sending love toward them? The worry holds on. The love lets go. And only one of them has any chance of reaching across the dark. What would it mean tonight to send rather than hold? When you are ready, we will continue together. Let us explore a story about a monk who sat with his dying brother and what he discovered about the kind of love that does not need to fix anything. His name was Brother Kiet, and his brother's name was Surin, and Surin was dying. Not quickly. It was the slow kind of dying, the kind that takes months, that gives everyone around it time to know what is coming, while also never quite believing it. Surin was ill with something that the physicians could slow but not cure, and the slowing had been going on for a year, and the trajectory was clear. Brother Kiet had received permission from the abbot to go home for an extended period. He was not the only family. There were sisters, cousins, a wife. But he was the oldest brother, and he and Surin had been close in the way that some siblings are close. A closeness that is not about similarity, but about having shared something formative, some essential early landscape that remains a kind of home base for both of them. He arrived at Surin's house in the 3rd month of the illness. He came in the way of a monk, with calm, with practice, with the considerable resources of decades of meditation and teaching and sitting with difficult things. He had sat with dying people before. He had given teachings on impermanence, on the nature of death, on the Buddhist understanding of what happens and why and how to meet it. He was, by any reasonable measure, well equipped for this. He discovered in the first week that his considerable equipment was almost entirely useless. Not because Surin was unwilling to receive it. The problem was that what Brother Kiet wanted to do, what the love in him wanted to do, was fix this, and there was nothing to fix. He sat at Surin's bedside and felt, for the first time in many years, entirely helpless. Not the productive helplessness of someone who has not yet found the solution. The complete helplessness of someone who has understood that there is no solution. Who has understood that the person he loves most is dying, and that all his practice and all his teachings and all his careful cultivation of equanimity does not change this by a single day. He sat with his brother, and he could feel, underneath the calm he was trying to maintain, the enormous effort of trying not to feel what he was feeling, the grief, the refusal, the part of him that wanted to say, not yet, not him, not this. Surin saw it. Of course he saw it. He was dying, not blind. One afternoon, when they were sitting together in the particular quiet that develops between two people who have run out of ordinary conversation and are simply being present to each other, Surin said, "You are trying very hard to be all right about this." "I'm trying," Brother Kiet said. "Don't," Surin said. Brother Kiet looked at him. "Don't try to be all right about it," Surin said. "It's all right for you to not be all right about it. You're my brother. I'm dying. You're allowed to not be all right about that." He looked at Kiet with the particular clarity that serious illness sometimes gives people. "What I need from you is not for you to be okay. What I need from you is just to be here." Brother Kiet was quiet for a long time. "I keep thinking there's something I should be doing," he said finally. "Some teaching I should give, some way to help." "You are helping," Surin said. "You're here. That's the help." He shifted slightly in the bed. "When I'm asleep and you're sitting there, I know you're there. I can feel it. That's what helps." Brother Kiet thought about this. He thought about all the times in his years of teaching that he had given people the teaching about presence, about the power of simply being with someone in difficulty without needing to fix or resolve or improve. He had given this teaching many times. He had believed it intellectually and understood it theoretically and had seen it work in others. He had not known until now that he had not fully understood it. What he had understood was that presence was useful in the absence of a solution. What he had not understood was that presence was the thing itself, not a substitute for fixing, not what you do when you cannot do anything else. The thing, the love that does not need to fix anything. He stayed with Surin for 2 more months. He sat beside the bed, and he was not okay about it. He was sad continuously, in the particular way that love is sad when it knows it is losing something. And he also was entirely, completely present, not managing the grief, not maintaining the equanimity, present. Surin died on a Tuesday morning in early spring, with Keet beside him. Keet returned to the monastery. He was a different teacher after that, not better prepared, not more capable, but differently available. He had understood something that the teaching could point at, but not deliver. That being with someone is not a lesser form of helping them. It is the form. Let us pause here for a moment. Is there someone you love who is going through something you cannot fix? And are you exhausting yourself trying to find the thing that would fix it, the right words, the right intervention, the right way to make it better? What if the thing that helps is simpler than that? What if being present, even at a distance, even here in the dark, thinking of them with love, is not a lesser form of caring? What if that is the form? When you are ready, we will continue together. Let us explore a story about a grandmother who discovered, late in life, what to do with the love that would not let her sleep. Her name was Grandmother May, and she was 74 years old, and she had 4 children and 11 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild, and she loved all of them so completely that it was at night a very full house inside her. She had always been this way, a woman of large love, the kind that does not discriminate or moderate, that simply extends in all directions toward the people it has claimed. As a young mother, she had channeled this love into action, into the cooking and the cleaning and the watching and the worrying that constitute the active practice of early parenthood. There was always something to do with the love, always a place to put it, always a task that the love could accomplish. But her children were grown, her grandchildren were growing, the tasks were fewer, and the love, which was not smaller than it had been, if anything larger, with more objects now, more people, more accumulated caring, had nowhere to go at night. She lay awake. She worried. Not catastrophically. She was not an anxious woman by nature, and she had lived long enough to know that most of the things she worried about resolved themselves without requiring her worry to resolve them. But the love had nowhere to go, and so it circled. She thought about the daughter in the distant city, about the grandson who was struggling in school, about the son whose marriage was difficult, about the great-grandchild who was still very young, still very new, still so small and new to the world that the smallness alone was enough to keep her awake. She thought about all of them, one by one, in the dark. She spoke to a teacher about it, a young monk from the small temple at the edge of town, who was not much older than her youngest grandchild, but who had a quality of stillness that she respected. She told him about the nighttime circling, about the love that had nowhere to go. He listened carefully. Then he said, "Do you know the practice of metta?" She knew it vaguely. He explained it to her, not in its formal version, the simple version, the version that a grandmother in bed at night could practice without a teacher and without a cushion and without any elaborate preparation. "Think of someone you love," he said, "one person. Hold them clearly in your mind, not their situation, not their difficulty, just them, their face, their particular self, and then wish them well, not in a desperate way, not with the weight of the worry. Simply wish them well. Say to them in your mind, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease." "That's all," she said. "That's all," he said, and then moved to the next person, and the next. You can go through everyone you love, one by one, wishing each of them well, not solving anything, not worrying, just sending. She went home and tried it that night. She lay in the bed and she thought of her daughter in the distant city. She held her daughter in her mind, not the situation, not the difficulty, just her daughter. Her daughter's face, the way she laughed, the particular gesture she made with her hands when she was explaining something. She said in her mind, "May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease." And then she moved to the next. She went through all 4 children, all 11 grandchildren, the great-grandchild, tiny and new, the son-in-law she worried about, the old friend who was not well. By the time she had gone through everyone, she was asleep. She did not know that this was going to happen. She had expected the practice to take a long time, had expected to go through the list and find herself still awake, still circling. But somewhere in the sending, the circling stopped. Not because the love went away, because the love had somewhere to go. The difference between worrying about someone and sending them love is the difference between holding on and letting go. The worry holds. It grips the person in the mind and does not release them, turning them over and over, examining the difficulty from every angle, as though the examination itself were a form of protection. The sending releases. It directs the love outward, toward the person, and then lets it go. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And then the next person, and the next. Grandmother May practiced this for the remaining years of her life. Every night, the same practice, the same list, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, always ending in sleep. Her grandchildren remembered her in later years as someone who made them feel loved in a particular way that they found difficult to describe. A completeness to it, a lack of anxiety, a quality of being seen and blessed rather than seen and worried about. She did not tell them about the practice. The love went where it went, in the dark, every night. She sent it anyway, every night. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Let us pause here for a moment. Would you like to try this now? Think of one person you love. Not their situation, not the difficulty, not what might be happening or what you wish were different. Just them, their face, their particular self, their voice if you can hear it, and send them this. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. Let the love go outward toward them, not held, sent, and then rest. When you are ready, we will continue together. 6 stories. Nuan at the river's edge, learning the difference between the leaf and the stone, between the love that floats and the fear that sinks it. Master Wen at the monastery gate, watching young Pao walk away, learning that the 4 years were already given and were already traveling with the student, whether the teacher could see it or not. The mother holding her lantern out into a dark she could not reach, learning that her daughter carried her own lantern, lit in part by the mother's light, moving through the difficult season on its own. Raya in the fishing village, learning from old Mara the difference between worry, which does not reach the boat, and love, which goes everywhere. Brother Kiet at Surin's bedside, learning that presence is not a substitute for helping, it is the help. And Grandmother May, going through her list in the dark, discovering that the love that could not sleep had somewhere to go all along. All of them are pointing at the same thing, not at a solution to loving someone you cannot protect. There is no solution to this. Loving someone who is separate from you, who has their own life, their own path, their own darkness to walk through, this is permanently without solution. The separation is the condition of love between 2 distinct people. You cannot solve it, and the teachers were not offering solutions. What they were offering was a different relationship to the love itself. The love that worries is love that has attached itself to outcome, to a specific result that it needs in order to release. I will be able to rest when I know they are safe. I will be able to put this down when I know they made the right choice. I will stop holding on when I know it is going to be all right. The worry is love waiting for a guarantee before it is willing to let go. The guarantee never comes, not because things always go wrong. Sometimes they go right, often they go right. The boat comes home, the difficult season passes, the student finds his way through the land dispute and returns. But the guarantee of outcome is not something love can receive in advance. And so the love waits, holding on, and the night passes without rest. The practice, the leaf, the lantern, the sending, offers something different. It offers a way for the love to move that does not require the guarantee, not because the outcome does not matter. It matters enormously. The boat coming home matters. The daughter finding her way through matters. The student's safety matters. But the love can move before the outcome is known. It can leave the hand, like the leaf on the water, and travel toward the person, carried by the current of care rather than held in the closed fist of fear. It can be sent, like Grandmother May's metta, in the form of a wish rather than a demand. May you be happy. Not, you must be happy, and I will not rest until you are. Simply, may you be. A wish offered freely, requiring nothing in return. This is not a lesser form of caring. It is not resignation or indifference dressed up in spiritual language. The mother who sends love instead of worry loves her child no less than the mother who lies awake with the stone in her hand. She loves differently, in a way that does not cost her the night, and does not reach the child as anxiety, and does not ask anything of the child in order to be complete. This is the teaching that is sometimes called non-attachment, though that word has been so often misunderstood that it does more harm than good. It does not mean not caring. It means caring without requiring the caring to produce a specific outcome before it is willing to release. Open hand, not closed fist. The leaf, not the stone. Your lantern in your own hand, burning steadily in the dark. Theirs in their hand, burning with the light you helped kindle, moving through their particular dark. And from here, from wherever you are, in whatever bed, in whatever room, in whatever hour, you send them the wish. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. The love travels toward the son in the distant city, the daughter in the difficult season, the partner who is unwell, the friend who is struggling, the parent who is aging, the child who is going through something you cannot enter, toward everyone on your list, one by one, by name, in the dark. You do not need a guarantee before you send it. You do not need to know the outcome. Someone out there is loved by you. Tonight, that is real, and it is enough. Let the love rest now. Not end, not withdraw, not diminish. Rest. In the same way that a hand that has been holding something tightly for a long time needs to be opened, not to lose what it was holding, but to let the blood return to the fingers. Open the hand. Think of the person or the people who have been in your thoughts tonight. Hold them for a moment in the mind, not their situation, not the worry, just them, their particular presence, the fact of them existing somewhere in the world, alive, breathing, going through whatever they are going through, and send them this one more time. May you be happy. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And then let the thought rest. They are where they are. They are doing what they are doing. The love you have sent is already traveling, in the simple sense that loving someone changes you, and the change in you is present in every conversation you will have with them, every message you send, every quality of attention you bring to them when you are together. The love is real. It has real effects. Not always the effects you would choose, not always on the timeline you would choose, but real. And right now, at this hour, there is nothing more for the love to do. You have loved today in whatever ways you found to love. You have worried because love worries. You have held on because love holds on. And now it is the night's turn, and the night does not worry, and the night holds nothing. It simply opens, dark and wide, and full of the quiet that is waiting for you if you will let it have you. The body knows what to do. It knows how to release the held places, the shoulders that have been braced, the chest that has been tight with caring, the small muscles around the eyes that have been doing the invisible work of watching and attending even in the dark. Let them go. The breath knows what to do. It does not need instruction or effort or any involvement from the part of you that is still keeping watch. It will continue on its own, in, out, slow and steady, the oldest rhythm there is, older than worry, older than love, older than the names we give to the things we feel. Let it. Someone out there is loved. They can feel it in the way that people who are loved can feel it. Not as a message received, not as a signal traced across the dark, but as the particular quality of a life that has been genuinely cared for. It is already in them. You put it there in the years and the days and the hours you have given them, and it lives there now in their particular way of moving through the world. You can rest now. The love is already where it needs to be. We have traveled a long way tonight to a river's edge and a monastery gate and a village where the fishermen go out at night and come back, and a room where two brothers sat together in the most difficult thing there is, and the dark where a grandmother went through her list. All of it pointing at the same thing. Love does not require certainty. It only requires you, and you are here, and they are there, and the love moves between those two places, in the dark, whether you are awake to send it or asleep. Sleep well, and thank you for joining us here at Quiet Lotus.